A house is one of the best representations of the mind. They change as we do, becoming filled with memories and scars. The passage of time can be cruel, all seeded by the choices we make or have made unto us. And here in Dishonored 2, we are greeted with a house as changeable and erratic as any one person. Sitting strong and silent in the middle of the dust district, shielded by this huge wooden wall, is the manor of Aramis Stilton. Welcome to Oddities. Here we take a look at some of my favourite details, moments and minutiae in games. So grab yourself a tea or a coffee and sit back as we explore together. You might already know what makes A Crack in the Slab one of Dishonored 2's most unique missions, but we'll get into that in a bit. We find ourselves here looking to get a clue as to how the main villain Delilah returned from her imprisonment. We know some dark ritual was performed here, but enter with very little information. Only that the place has fallen into disrepair, claimed by the dust and blood flies, deteriorating before our eyes. Our powers don't work here, but we can still double jump, so we'll be fine. I love how dry this exterior courtyard feels. You can hear the crunch of brown leaves or rustles when you brush past bushes. Oftentimes games will fill an abandoned location with greenery and moisture, but here it makes it feel all the more desolate. You can't see through any of the windows and into the mansion, leaving what lies within a mystery. The only things we can hear are the slight rush of wind and a distant bird cawing, nothing to give us an indication of what awaits us. And as we enter, we get that feeling of an ancient tomb being disturbed as these rats scurry off and dust is shifted from between the floorboards above. It seems like the trees here have a mind of their own, a network working against us by covering the doors and blocking our path, as if there's an intelligence behind the corruption. I like how it's sunny outside. It gives us these wonderful shafts of light that shine in through the windows. This place doesn't give me a sense of unease, but rather one of profound sadness. You can tell it was a house that was loved. You can almost feel the presence of what once was, which is probably stemming from what I know the concept of this mission is, but it does build that curiosity and wonder for what this place was like in its prime. There's some stretchers laid about the place, perhaps it houses some squatters. There are some Hy-Vee bloodfly people wandering the halls, so perhaps this was where they once slept before they became corrupted. Peering through here, we get a nice look at Aramis's shadow as he sits at his piano. He himself a shade, just as much as the house. The mind and home damaged as one. I like this little crocodile in the bath filled with leaves and stone. It looks like Aramis might have been having tea with it. Here we find Aramis, and the outsider gives us the centerpiece of the mission, and our curiosity for what once was can be satisfied.
By the void.
And here we are, 3 years earlier. The manor now lit with this gorgeous white and burgundy marble. It looks like this hall had been set up for a performance, with all these chairs facing the piano. A far cry from the lowly serenade Aramis has been giving us in the present. There's some more pianos up the stairs. Perhaps they're being repaired or are spared for larger performances. They have what looks like a carrot soup going in the kitchen. Above it is the advertisement for poison, which isn't something I'd personally put in my kitchen, but Aramis does seem like an eccentric. Maybe if we overanalyze it, it can represent the festering poison that has soured the manor into its present state.
It's been 3 years and no one ended up doing the dishes.
In this corner, here we have some extra chairs and tables. You'd assume a man like Aramis has plenty of potential guests he'd need to be prepared for. On this scale, we're weighing some pears. It's good to be exact with your pear portioning, but I'm wondering what exactly we're weighing it against.
The beer tap still works in the present. Aramis might not be much of a beer drinker, even in his insane state. Maybe there's still a sliver of that refined, gentlemanly nature still within him.
You can see some tea or coffee or some kind of oil stain on this cloth. I love that they didn't need to add this to the texture, but it just conveys such a notion of use. We can see that this space is lived in and how it operates. It looks like someone was working on these green bulbs here.
And in the present, we can see someone has taken a hammer to them.
If we stand just here, we can see that the shadow of the bin kind of glitches out a bit. I suppose we can choose to believe this is some void nonsense instead of the game freaking out. I'm not one to judge, but this monkey head above the courtyard is a bit much. Aramis seems an eccentric, so it fits right in, but I can't imagine his servants enjoy looking at this thing.
Probably why it's been destroyed in the future.
There's some discarded palm fronds on the ground here. Maybe they were used to fan whoever was sitting here, but it's unclear why they've been discarded so. Maybe something very interesting happened and everyone rushed off to look. It's fun that you can see the pillows have been taken off of these couches here to make this makeshift seating arrangement. And just beyond, look at the way these lights below illuminate the wooden scaffolding. It's awesome. You can tell it's a hot night with the crickets and the cicadas resonating in the background. You can really feel the humidity in the air. And here we have past Stilton himself. We can try one of two options to change the present, that being killing him or incapacitating him. We'll incapacitate him first and see how that has affected things.
We find the manor standing strong once more. A lovely classical piece coming from this gramophone here, or whatever it's called in the Dishonored universe. The interior has retained its past grandeur. It feels almost sterile compared to how we found it. Perfectly polished walls and floors, workers milling around, going about their various duties. One thing that is interesting is that there's no guards or soldiers, making this area completely safe to run around, though the staff don't appreciate a stranger in their space. We've got the pool here getting cleaned. There's a life jacket on this stool. Maybe whoever frequents a swim isn't the strongest, or maybe they just like to float.
In the past, we have this powder room with a mirror set up with all kinds of makeups and lotions.
While in the present, it has been replaced with a bath. Still a similar kind of room, but it does invoke a sense of replacing vanity with cleanliness. If you know the story, then sparing Aramis proves how empathetic of a person he is as he joins our cause to take down Delilah. Perhaps a reckoning occurred within him that has been reflected in the house. A representation of the mind and all that. Look at this artwork. I mean, come on, how awesome is that? Look up the Dishonored concept art if you want endless pieces that just tickle your imagination. You could write a whole novel based on each one. Oh joy, the monkey head survived. With both the lighting and decor change, a lot of the reds have been subdued or removed from the manor. One could see this as Aramis having excised the Duke's influence, as we see later that his palace is filled with red. Now we find ourselves with these simple browns and cool blues, giving an indication of rebirth, simplicity and calm. A mind that has been healed.
On the other hand, if we give Stilton a little present here,
we find the manor empty once more. Still standing and in good condition, but having been put up for sale, all personality and homeliness having vanished completely. Even the destroyed manor had a sense of character that we could see, but here the walls seem to hang even more silent. We'll save Stilton because the alternative is quite depressing and find our way into his mysterious study.
already we can see the effects of having changed the past as everything in here freaks out a little bit. We can blame this chair being in a different spot rather than our intervention. After witnessing Delilah returning,
We're done in the manor and can continue on. Our effects of time travel not quite fully apparent yet. The house and mind has been healed, though you can't help but feel intrusive. We changed memories against will, removing choice, growth, and control from the equation, even if what we ended with is a net positive. But that's a discussion for the comments. Do you think it's right to change the world in such a way? Force a mind to transform apart from itself, injecting our own will within it, however well-intentioned? Thanks for watching. I love the Dishonored series and I'm keen to take a look at more levels. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel and sticking around to explore with us. Let me know if there's any specific moments or details in games you want me to take a look at. We'll probably be exploring some more Halo next, so stay tuned. Cheers.